Hi, everyone. I am beyond excited to welcome you to this special webinar introducing Creately VIZ. So, my name is Chandika. I'm the co founder and CEO of Creately. And today we will take a quick look at how we got here, our vision for visual AI, and a demo of Creately's AI capabilities. So, why did we start Creately? So, we started with diagramming. We started Creately to help people design and explain complex things visually. Visuals are such a powerful medium, and not enough people use it as it was too hard to use. So this was back from 15 years ago. So Creately was one of the first platforms that focused on lowering the barrier for entry for teams and individuals to use visuals and diagrams. And we did this with groundbreaking UX and thousands of templates that solve so many needs. So you can draw hundreds of types of diagrams on Creately with amazing ease. Now, moving forward, we focused on visual collaboration. When teams wanted to work together visually, a different set of problems arose. Teams wanted to brainstorm. The tools were there, but what next? A lot of context was lost between going from the visual whiteboards to actual work products that teams worked on. And mixing real time and async collaboration for hybrid teams was actually just too hard. So we looked at it slightly differently from everybody else. We extended Creately with a multitude of capabilities to help people use Creately as a collaborative space, as a whiteboard, and more. But we focused on helping teams ideate, plan, design, and execute workflows in a single view, combining the full life cycle of idea to execution and reference. We provide a major boost for better innovation, speed of execution, and clarity of purpose for everyone involved. So, our theme here is again to lower the barrier to entry and make it seamless as possible to brainstorm, plan, and work together. So, ever since the start of Creative's journey, though, we've always looked at visuals and diagrams as more than just images that end up on a slide deck or a document. We've looked at these as the primary artifact which contain rich data and insights. The visuals as power of have visuals have the power of being having the big picture as well as the details. So it was along these lines our data and node capabilities are built, ensuring there's a single source of truth that the entire team can work around. So what we did when we did bring in Creately data into the Creately platform, we spent more than 3 years in an exclusive hardcore engineering mode. So we built a complete semantic data layer for working on objects. And now our diagramming and collaboration platform is built on top of this data platform, enabling us to do a lot more with data and insights on our Creately platform. So our database capabilities means that you're able to work on multi-perspective data, items on Canvas understand and react to context, and it can sync with third-party data sources. And you can augment and extend data that you get from elsewhere on the Creatives platform, all visually, all real time. So these capabilities are in the process of being exposed on Creative's platform along with our Viz capabilities. So over the next few months, you will see more and more news from Creately on this regard. We are very excited. So let's take a look at how this really works. Taking a look at this OKR model. So this is a company OKR model. It is completely data bound. I'm going to select one shape, and on this shape, actually an object, there's a full-on document. And so each shape on Creately has a full-on document, and you can add, headers, tables, anything. And they have data fields that you can add and customize. So I'm changing the completion percentage on this item, and it updates all the upstream tasks, OKRs, objectives, with the completed percentage. So change to 12, everything else changes. So it's a real working system with data, with formulas, with insights. So it's pretty amazing that we are able to do this on a completely visual canvas, and we could also do this with third-party data. Each item has its own history. All changes are tracked. So this is the foundation of Creately's collaboration platform. Moving forward, uh, if you just, one more example of this, if you copy and paste this shape, each shape, each object can now live in multiple places. I change it in one place, it syncs the same change across the other shapes that's there. So I changed it from fixed to complete, and it just changed. It changes again on the other shape. It's a very simple example, super powerful because you could do this across workspaces. And then going from there, we would look at a Kanban board in having the same stuff in multiple contexts. Now, in here, I'm moving the same card is in two different teams, one in exec priorities, one in teams priorities. When you change status, it changes the status across the board. I can now take the same card and put it on a timeline, a Gantt chart. So, and when I move the dates, when I move it around, the dates change. It's like a real working Kanban board. It's the kind of thing that you would draw on a whiteboard, but imagine uh, it's uh, it's completely real with actual data. You pull that in and you put it in a 2 by 2 grid for prioritization, say versus effort versus impact. The data changes, and you could do calculations and prioritizations based on this, and you could change the data in the panel and it'll move on the view as well. So we have truly built an intelligent data driven canvas for people to work around with on Creately, and these capabilities are being adopted by production customers right now, and we continue to extend these capabilities as we go forward. Now, the next step, why we did all this work with data, is because how we wanted to move into AI. So with AI, we've seen a surge of interest ever since ChatGPT came into play, and that's when the mainstream audience realized that there's such a huge potential here. And more than 50% of execs believe AI is the top priority for the next year. And there's a challenging macro environment overall that's causing lots of organizations to figure out how do we move forward in this new environment with changing AI capabilities and so on. So for the last few years, we've been focused on building this data layer of Creately with an eye towards an AI-enabled future. So when you look at today's challenges in organizations, you want to get more done with less. Your environment is changing, challenging, and it's in continuous flux. More and more executives and leaders are prioritizing AI as a way to handle challenges in the future. So, your collaborative canvas is where your best ideas get done. That's how it is on Creately, and that's how it is on lots of platforms that compete in this market. But how do you take AI, how do you take those ideas and make it a reality? So on Creately, we've gone through this process of going from ideate, planning, and execution on the same context. And bringing in AI to this context is such a huge enabler for that entire life cycle of work, turning ideas into measurable outcomes. So when we looked at how Creately can help drive business outcomes with AI, we looked at helping teams have better, deep ideas, making AI an effective sparring partner for a team, and unlocking insights, new insights that you wouldn't even usually touch, and enabling more and more people access uh, the power of visual communication and collaboration with AI. So we are lowering the overall bar for accessing these tools with AI. And basically, we want to 10x your team's output with AI. And now 10xing any team's output with AI, particularly in the productivity sector, is quite a challenge. Lots of promises have been made, and from current experience, while there are some outcomes for early adopters. Mainstream outcomes of, say, 10x return on how you were doing things is yet to be realized. But at Creately, this was our goal. This is what we want to do. So with this, our approach here was not to do the bare minimum. We wanted to 10x your output with AI, because that's the promise of AI, isn't it? As in, humanity now expects magic out of AI. While there's some early adopter magic when you look closely, it's a hard time being converted into business outcomes for general purpose productivity. So accurately, we took this bull by the horns. Our core data platform enables us to work better and deeper with generative AI to deliver real value for customers. So let's uh, let's go in. This is Creately VIZ, our AI platform for visual intelligence. Viz is built right into the core of Creately, and it helps teams in multiple ways. So, what does it solve? So, it expands your team's thinking beyond of uh, of their current knowledge, and it helps you go from what else have I not looked at. It helps you solve creative blocks. It helps you cut drawing time. You don't have to draw. And Viz does these complex structured layouts that used to take hours into seconds. And it enables deeper understanding and analysis, because you could simply go from one idea to another, one view to another, making you a truly multimodal thinker. And it helps teams stay in the flow during a collaboration effort. So it just, you know, it's just an amazing experience to work side by side with Viz's AI capabilities. And it simply expands and extends your team's capacity and their skill level and their creativity by multiple fold. So Viz comes with four core capabilities. The first one is generate. It helps you generate any kind of visual you want. All you have to do is ask, and Viz will generate that visual in an instant. And we have provided support for a large number of Creately's visuals and diagrams, and we continue to add more and more visual and diagram types on this generative capability. So that is the first of its capabilities. There are four core pillars. The second one is expand. It helps you go from one idea to another, either with one more or the next five. It helps you continue your stream of thought with sensible quick options, and these are built right into the quick toolbar that you use every day. And the next one is organize. So it helps you organize any kind of content into another structure super easy. And there are different ways to organize these things, by sentiment, by theme, and so on. And this is transformative, particularly when you have a lot of data on the canvas that you want to make sense of. And the last one is transform. And it can take you from one kind of view, a structure, to another completely different perspective. And this is our most transformative capability. And yes, that pun was intended. It's really great. And now, why don't we just jump in to a real demo of how Wiz works? So So we are taking an example of a team launching a new software product to market, a CRM that's focused on an independent healthcare practitioners. So it's a interesting small case that we can go on this adventure with. And first, we'll go and look at a generative case, and we'll look at templates. So there's a new section under templates, Creately VIZ. It has a large number of templates that we've AI enabled from get-go. So to look at the overall business of this problem, we're using a business model canvas. And I'm asking what Viz to generate a CRM system for independent medical practitioners in the USA, right? And I click generate, and it will give me a fully fleshed out canvas, business model canvas, with each section having context relevant items. Now, if you zoom in here and look at what's there, each item has context relevant information about partnering with different parties, developing different capabilities, the key resources, and so on. Each one has its own notes explaining what this thing is about. Now, if you really look at this, right, what we've achieved here automatically from a single prompt is that Viz has generated real context relevant information into this beautifully designed business model canvas that would have otherwise taken hours to complete. And it has also used its smarts in knowing what a business model canvas looks like, what kind of content should go in there, what kind of considerations should be there for each of these columns, and brought that into context. So that is what Creately has done. It has combined your ability for it has created this ability for you to go from any kind of context into an expertly designed visual framework that is that helps you unlock different models of thinking. And you don't have to know what a business model canvas looks like or how it works and what things should be going in there. You just have to ask Viz, and we generate it for you. And we've done this with multiple frameworks. So now let's move ahead and create another type of visual. This time, let's go ahead and look for a SWOT diagram. Yes. So strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Same prompt, asking for a system for independent medical practitioners, building a CRM system for medical practitioners, independent medical practitioners in the USA. And let's put that in. And we wait for the template has loaded. Now it gets populated by the data that's coming in. And you'll see there's deep detail in here. It's very easy to understand. Give it a quick second. It's a fairly heavy process. Yeah. So it's understood the context, and it's given you real insights on what should be what perspectives to be considered, and it's even quoting research and current trends of what's happening out there. So it's as in same prompt, different perspectives and different kinds of expertise required for this kind of thinking, and Creately is able to generate that for you automatically with Viz. So now I can select the same area, and I could go and say generate a flowchart from this. So you can continue on this path from one perspective to another. So I'm looking at a process perspective right now, and I will get a fully fleshed out flowchart about this context. And that would have all the right steps for you to build this CRM or implement this CRM system. And if I select one, I could go in and uh, create the next item automatically by just clicking on it. And practitioner partner with healthcare organizations, develop a portal. What next five things should I do after adding a patient portal? And it just gives me, at appointment scheduling, uh, integrate with intermediate practitioners, and developing a mobile app, implementing patient feedback systems, all this stuff. This is things that you would have had to, brainstorm and think and go and process. The fact that Creately is not generating a whole bunch of stickies at once, and it is doing this in context, step by step, is a game changer, because the user experience is focused on continuity and working with the AI hand in hand as you move forward in your work session. And this might be just you yourself, or with your entire team as well. So Creately's Viz is a great collaborative partner as you work on anything that's visual. And now, going from here, we could pick a few of these things, and okay, let's look at creating counterpoints from the same thing. And so there are some shortcuts we've built in for you to for and against kind of thinking. That's very easy to use. And if you give it a second, it'll give you 5 counterpoints comparing from the root cause. So there are different, as in you could do this with a custom prompt as well. Ask for a risk perspective. Now we'll go and generate a action items on a Kanban board from this same set of data. And yes, so that's a fully working Kanban board using our project management capability. And you can move these cards around, structure them. And this is just amazing, the fact that it's able to understand context and then take that context and generate different perspectives. This is amazing for the fact that it's Creately's Viz is able to take different contexts and generate different viewpoints or different perspectives from the same data. And that's the true power of this multimodal thinking that we aim to unlock with Creately Viz. Now, moving forward, there's some more exciting things I want to show you. So this is another example. We have those same OKRs that we looked at earlier, and each of them has their own data, similar to this: effort, impact, completion, and so on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these, right? And I'm going to group it to the custom prompt. I'm going to say categorize these by completion and impact. Gonna click generate. Yeah, so those things now moved into this 2x2 matrix, which is pretty great. It organized that, it understood the dimensions of how to organize this information, because this is numerical information, by the way, and it organized it into low, medium, high, and low impact and high impact. And it figured out the dimensions to analyze, as well as how to organize it, and also the structure and the layout for it to be organized. So you could apply this for various data sources, and this is a one of a kind visualization. Let me take the same things out, okay? Let me take these out again and reorganize it from another dimension. Let's try to organize it with categorize these by impact and status. So let's see what happens. So as you know, AI is non-deterministic. But what we've done is we've uh, trained this to a certain level that it gives you reasonably predictable results. So in this view, now it changed it to do in progress and review, and it organized into a numerical grouping because in this configuration of the data, now you can group them into a common set of uh, three reasonable dimensions. So that's a very quick example of Creately being able to organize and categorize data, not just by tags or keywords or sentiment, uh, also by data, also by, I could do this by sentiment and status and identified themes. And in that case, Creately is able to utilize color, styling, and so on. And we are just tuning these capabilities so that you have this fully multi-dimensional categorization capability built into the platform. So these four foundational capabilities that I just showed you of being transform, expand, generate, and organize are available on Creately right now for all of our uh, paid plans. We are planning on bringing them for our free and evaluation plans in a limited scope as well. But for now, the use is unlimited on our paid plans on Creately. And early feedback is showing tremendous outcomes for all our users who are using these capabilities. And we hope you try these as well. Now, the Creately platform is, while simple and easy to use, is really quite deep. Our data capabilities, task management, two-way data syncing, and more are going to get all AI enabled as we race into the future in which your teams are helped to become more creative, more action oriented, and deliver 10x value with better understanding of all aspects of their work. That's what we at Creately are trying to get done. We're just getting started on combining our advanced capabilities in the framework, and we're beyond excited about the future. So, thank you so much for joining in for this webinar. We'll move into some Q&As now. So, we have a few questions here. First one, how do I bring my team's data and workflows to Creately? Um, so this is basically as simple as uh, taking Creately's Kanban board template and adding the right set of columns into the the Kanban board. And when you do that, any item that you add to the Kanban board will get the right kind of status, right kind of workflow, and it's very simple to go from there. If you import in data, you can import that as a CSV or a third-party platform. And what we are very excited about is expanding our range of integrations so that you can bring in data from pretty much any platform into Creately. And we have a bit of AI in that mix as well. So in Q1 2024, we should be pretty much having hundreds of data sources that you can bring into Creately very, very easily. And hope I answered that question properly. What other features is the team exploring around AI visual collaboration? So it's quite wide open, but we have a very long and thought out roadmap. First ones are in us being able to use AI capabilities to expose more of Creately's advanced and deep functionalities in a much more easier way. For example, conditional formatting, search and recommendations, custom databases, so that these can be added into the platform uh, by just asking. Right, just as you saw that custom conditional formatting and categorization, you could right now ask Creately in its prompt basically anything, and it'll just work. And other things are like our note panel, for which each of the items that has a note, it's going to get writer capabilities, so that it's easy for that section as well. And yeah, so that's just a preview. And I couldn't mention on the webinar itself, Create has great integration with Microsoft Teams, and that is um, allows you to understand context from Teams and transform that into a visual structures that you just saw. All of our AI capabilities are in Microsoft Teams already. Uh, Next question: how do I begin test driving Creately VIZ? It's right now available for our premium accounts, as I said, but you can sign up and let us know if you want a trial, and we can help you out. And any more questions? Yes. How safe is it to use Creately VIZ considering client data and so on? Uh, we use Azure OpenAI as our backend service for AI, and your data is not used for training. It's part of our core regional infrastructure, so it's the same as us using our data storage. It has a similar level of security, so there's nothing to be worried about. There's no human review involved in your data transfers. It has the same level of security. Creately is ISO SOC 2 and ISO 27001 certified, and this is part of our certification as well. And another question: how much more is it going to cost us to use Creately VIZ? During the beta, so right now it's in beta, and it's completely free to use at this period of time. There will be always a free component of Creately VIZ that you'll be able to use to a certain limit, and beyond the fair usage level, we will have an additional fee, which is should be very reasonable and deliver outsized value for anyone who's trying to use Creately. Any more questions? So if there are any more questions, feel free to ask them on our chat, on the comments here, and do try Creately VIZ out. It's it's quite powerful, and it's a huge productivity boost. If And it's very, very simple to use. Thank you very much for joining this webinar, and have a great rest of the day. Thank you.